The Earth is warming. This is not a debate, it is a terrifying consensus among scientists worldwide. The culprit? Humanity's relentless emissions of greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide, from burning fossil fuels. The solution, achieving net zero emissions, has emerged as the rallying cry of governments and corporations alike. Net zero, in its purest form, means slashing greenhouse gas emissions as close to zero as possible. Any remaining emissions would be offset by removing an equivalent amount from the atmosphere. This concept, while seemingly elegant, masks a quagmire of complexities and potential pitfalls. Is net zero a genuine path to a sustainable future or a dangerous distraction, allowing us to continue with business as usual while the planet burns? The allure of net zero is undeniable. It presents a vision of a world where economic growth can continue, where industries don't have to radically transform, and where our consumption-driven lifestyles can persist. But this seductive vision risks obscuring a far more challenging truth. Achieving a livable future demands a fundamental reimagining of our relationship with the planet and a dismantling of the very systems driving us towards climate chaos. Central to the net zero framework is the concept of carbon offsets. These schemes allow polluters to compensate for their emissions by investing in projects that supposedly remove or prevent an equivalent amount of greenhouse gases elsewhere. Planting trees is a commonly cited example. On the surface, it sounds like a win-win, but dig deeper, and the flaws become glaringly apparent. Offsets rely on an intricate and often dubious accounting system, rife with loopholes and prone to manipulation. How do you accurately quantify the carbon sequestered by a forest, considering factors like growth rates, fire risk, and land use changes? How do you ensure the permanence of these carbon sinks, guaranteeing they won't release those stored emissions back into the atmosphere years later? Moreover, offsets can create a perverse incentive for polluters to continue emitting, secure in the knowledge they can simply purchase their way out of responsibility. It's a dangerous distraction from the real work of reducing emissions at the source, a form of climate procrastination with potentially disastrous consequences. The transition to a net zero economy will undoubtedly have profound economic and social ramifications. While proponents often tout the job creation potential of green technologies, they often gloss over the potential for job displacement and economic hardship in communities reliant on fossil fuel industries. A just transition requires more than just green jobs. It demands comprehensive social safety nets, retraining programs, and robust investments in impacted communities. Furthermore, the costs associated with achieving net zero are substantial and raise critical questions about equity. Who will bear the brunt of these costs? Will it be the corporations responsible for the lion's share of historical emissions, or will it be ordinary citizens already struggling with rising living costs and economic insecurity? The spectre of green gentrification also looms large, where climate action inadvertently displaces low-income communities from increasingly desirable climate-resilient areas. The pursuit of net zero must not come at the expense of exacerbating existing social and economic disparities. We need policies that prioritize equity and ensure that the transition to a sustainable future benefits all, not just a privileged few. Section 4. Technological quicksand, efficiency versus reality. Technological innovation undoubtedly has a crucial role to play in curbing emissions. Renewable energy sources like solar and wind power have advanced dramatically in recent years, becoming increasingly cost-competitive with fossil fuels. Yet pinning all our hopes on a technological silver bullet while neglecting the need for systemic change is a recipe for disaster. The allure of technological solutions often leads to a dangerous fixation on efficiency. We're told that electric vehicles, energy-efficient appliances, and smart grids will save the day. But the history of environmentalism is littered with examples of efficiency improvements being outpaced by increased consumption, a phenomenon known as the rebound effect. Simply put, we can't innovate our way out of this crisis if our consumption patterns continue to spiral out of control. Moreover, many of the technologies touted as essential for achieving net zero, such as carbon capture and storage, remain largely unproven at scale and come with their own set of risks and uncertainties. Relying on technologies that are still in their infancy while delaying the necessary reductions in consumption and fossil fuel dependence is a high-stakes gamble with the future of the planet.